All right, Lex, thanks for doing this, my man. So just for everyone watching, we got Lex Ferguson here from beautiful Hawaii. And we just wanted to talk a little bit about your experience in our ownership program. So why don't you give us a quick little introduction and tell us kind of a little bit about, maybe where you were before, taking the plunge with us, and kind of a little bit about where we've got to over the past few months.
Okay, yeah, cool. So my name is Lex Ferguson. I'm with eXp Realty out in Honolulu, Hawaii, but I on Oahu, but I actually sell in all the islands. Prior to joining with Agent Launch, I was top producer on a top team in the state. So I was doing a lot of business, but I was searching. And sorry for my kid in the background.
It's
That's
okay.
my kid, and I was searching for my own like kind of lead tap
That's kind of like exactly what we do.
it, it
Um,
it's identical. It's simpler than you think, but it's also more complicated than you think, because you need people who know how to create the ads and all that stuff. And um
it's
and
simple, but it's simple if you know how to do it right, I would say. Like
right.
like it's easy to screw it up. And we've made all those mistakes obviously for everyone, but it's easy to do it wrong, and it can actually get derailed if you don't do things the right way. But if you do them the right way, as you've already discovered, which we'll get into, it can be pretty fruitful.
Well, and you guys really kind of lay the like you I mean you lay it out for me. It's like the way you have it kind of laid out with the it's like a three-tiered system. You get the website, and then with the Google ads, and then you do the YouTube, and then the ISA. And I personally was probably slower than the other people in the group. I just wanted to take it one step at a time. Like, I haven't even really been pushing YouTube yet, because I've been so busy now with my leads from my website. First, I wanted to get the website perfect. Now I still am tweaking the site some, but I mean, my flow is like, I mean, I've had 600 leads and I started last month. So that's pretty insane.
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
and like a lot of
Websites, it's a never-ending project.
it's a never ending project. Like, I want to fix like little things like the area descriptions and stuff, because I paid someone to do that and they did a kind of a terrible job. You could tell they're not from Hawaii. When I actually read them, I was like, oh my gosh. And I found grammatical errors too. Like, I'm gonna you write your own stuff, okay? And
Yeah, but that's a long play anyway, the SEO, but I think it's worth it for you.
yeah, no. And so yeah, the site got set up, and then the Google ads, like, it's a lot to take in when you first hear it. Because to me, I was with you, Eric, I was telling you, I just want leads. I just
Mhm.
want leads that I can knock out, because I've already was really good at web leads. It's kind of been a specialty of mine for quite some time, dealing with mainland buyers wanting to buy in Hawaii, whether it be remotely or coming out. And that was just kind of my niche, right? And so yeah, now I feel like I can just control this faucet. If I want to 10x it, I can. It's unbelievable. And then the ISA thing, that I thought that there was no way that made any sense for me right now. Like, I was just like, I don't need an ISA. I work my own leads, and then
Yeah.
now I have one, and it's insane, dude. I got 3 good leads yesterday. Two of them while I was on the golf course, and I had to walk. I had to walk 2 holes and not play them, because my phone kept ringing. It kept being my ISA transferring me leads, and the people I was playing with were getting so mad at me that I didn't care. I just kept walking and talking.
That's awesome. And I think your experience was very, I think, typical with the ISA, because I think a lot of people come in, and I articulate this problem a lot, and I've worked on articulating it well, especially on our website. Like, if you read our homepage, I've very much articulated this problem. I think I used a screenshot of you to describe it, but of our chat. But it's like, you never think you're going to need it, and then you generate the leads and you get some good leads, and you start working with clients and you get busy, and then you're like, oh shit, I'm not following up with the leads as well as I should be. And it just gives you that kind of ability to scale things up really well. So it's funny how many people have been through the program at this point and had that same realization, where they're like, oh, like, I don't know if I want to do it right away. I don't know if I need it, but now they're like, it's obviously necessary for this system to really thrive.
Yeah, and I think you get someone you like working with. Like, I got really lucky, because someone else in the program. Is it okay if I say names?
Yeah, Russell.
Yeah.
I did a video like this with Russell too. So
Cool. All right. So cool. So Russell had the incredible ISA Dominique, and we had that one meeting. I forget, it might have been operations training or whatever. And man, she had better questions than the realtors. I was sitting there listening. I was like, this girl is the smartest person in this Zoom call. And then I just kept listening to her talk, and I was just like, wow, if I could find someone like that, I'd get an ISA. And then sure enough, I got referred someone by her, and now I've got this incredible girl, and she's just been hammering the phones. And like, I've never been someone who likes making calls. I admitted to that to you on day one. And I've always just kind of worked the text messages, and I've always been really successful with it. But man, it's I mean, I would say in the past week, I've gotten like maybe like 7 viable buyers that are all people I never would have spoke with if Keo didn't call them. There's no question. I mean, one of them's 3.5 million. She'll be here next week on Wednesday, and she's cash. And I never would have spoke with her. Never would have spoke with her. Now, like, she's calling me every hour just to talk about Hawaii. And every time I'm just thinking, like, it's like I'm like friends with her now. It's just like, but it's like I never would have spoke with the lady. And yesterday, all those ones I got, never would have spoke with them. One of them's a mil cash, and he's buying it for his son. He said his son gets back from Portugal next week. He already knows the house, wants to buy it immediately. And I'm like walking the golf course thinking, like, what is happening right now?
Making money while you golf. I love it.
Well, you got to get the pen to paper, but it's still the concept. It's
crazy how, and again, I think, like, you know, your market's an interesting one because you do get those cash buyers, which is great. And so, yeah, I guess that leads me to, you know, let's talk a little bit about the specific results. I know you haven't got anything inked yet, but, you know, you're 3 months in. You have kind of how many deals, how much in volume would you say, like, in hand? I know you've talked about a couple. I'd love to hear that story you told me.
Do you really want me to say those numbers?
Like, I do.
I don't, but if anyone is watching this video in Hawaii, this program is terrible. I mean, let's think. All right, so I met someone
just so you know, you're the first client we've ever had in Hawaii. So that's not a normal thing.
Last. Okay, so I already told you I'll buy them out. So yesterday I had breakfast with someone who's a meeting tomorrow. They're 1 to 1.5 mil. I got a guy who's coming back in 2 weeks. He's 2 to 3 mil. I'm looking at 2 more people that are about combined 1.5 mil. Another lady is 1 mil. Another lady's 800. Another lady I wrote a 4.5 mil offer for. I got a lady next week. She's 3.5 mil. I've got, and then the guy who just got back from Utah, and that Jonah Hill walked in on our showing, and that house is 6.89 million, and they're cash. Never would have spoke with them ever, any of them.
Crazy.
And
you got to meet Jonah Hill. That was pretty cool.
And I met Jonah Hill. I had to keep him out of a house. I was like, hey, my client's in there. And he was like, what do you mean your client's in there? I was like, well, I'm a realtor. We have a showing before yours. You're early. And he was like, oh, that makes so much sense. I was like, yeah. I was like, and I'm Lex, man. I was like, and he's like, I'm Jonah. And I was like, I know. I know who you are, dude. I know who you are. I would ask for a photo, but I don't want to weird you out. So, but
that's hilarious.
Yeah, there's a bunch more up there too. And then there's a bunch that aren't even on my whiteboard. It's pretty awesome. And I was already busy. Like, I'm not even naming people that I was already working with. So,
so we need to do a part 2 of this. Cause, like, I know you've written some offers but you haven't got anything final yet. And we're at 3 months.
But you got to think, I wasn't really working anyone until last month because we never went live with my site until the start of January. So it's really been a month and a half. The first month and a half prior, we were just getting the systems in place. So
it's been 6 weeks.
Ads went live at the start of like December 28th, I think. Right. And I had a lower budget than my first or second week, that 7 mil buyer, I know exactly what happened. She was walking the beach from Turtle Bay Resort. She saw this incredible house that she fell in love with. And she goes, that's my house. And then she Googles, I know exactly what happened. She Googled North Shore Oahu homes for sale. bang, my site popped up first. She clicked it. She put in her info. She immediately requested a tour. I had her on the phone instantly, and she was still standing in front of the house, staring at it. And she's like, wait, it's for sale? And I was like, yeah, it's for sale. And she got so pumped up. She's like, we're buying it. And they haven't bought it yet because the brother kind of reeled it in. But I was just like thinking, oh my gosh.
7.5 million.
Yeah, 7 or 6.98.
6.98. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, and they haven't inked anything, but the guy's back. It'll be a third showing on Friday. I think it's 50-50 still. I think that he's still weighing options of if is Oahu where they want to be, because that's a lot of coin. That's what he keeps telling me. He's like, 7 mil is a lot of coin, Lex. And I'm like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
But
look at the house. Just look at it.
No, it's the best house on the North Shore. There's more expensive, but this one, the way it is, there's no erosion risk, and we have a lot of erosion issues. And like in the way the state laws are, if your house were to go or the water were to like come up onto your property, you're gonna have major issues because there's a 40-foot setback in Hawaii. And so if water were to start overtaking any of your land, it becomes state-owned property. It's a major issue. So I get why someone wouldn't want to put 13 million on a house on the beach, right?
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah, but if you're a billionaire, who cares?
Yeah, right. So man, that's awesome. I'm so happy for you, man. It's like, I remember you're telling me earlier, like before we started working together, you were kind of like, the course isn't cheap per se. But that's intentional. It's because we obviously put a lot of time in with you to get this right over the months during the program. I'd love for you to talk a little bit about your hesitations initially, and we'll do this again because I really want to cover this in like 9 months from now and just like actually do the numbers. But
dude, so in 9 months, I can tell you what's going to happen. So I've already got a partner lender who has the best rates on the island. I won't call him a part. He's just I've got a team that's kind of fallen into place that's all built around this, right? And he's got a whole team behind him, and it's going to be insane. Like, I mean, maybe this year I don't beat last year's numbers. I probably will, but maybe I don't because of the slight late start but
the change from the team to being an independent.
Well, technically, yeah. So technically, yeah. Maybe, but I don't know. I mean, I could double them. I mean, the stuff I'm seeing, the numbers I just told you, if I close all of them, that's got to be like 30 or 40 million right there, something insane, right? So we'll see. I mean, sorry, my phone keeps ringing, but yeah, sorry, this call just completely made me lose my train of thought. But
I was asking about yeah, we'll do this again then because I'd love to get the details on the numbers, but if you can tell everyone your story of kind of when you first started talking to me and you were like, who is this guy asking for all this money?
I'll tell you that, but I'm going to make a prediction right now. I think in 9 months, I think when we circle back towards the end of the year, I think I'm going to hit over 20 minimum from my site. Minimum
20 million in volume.
I think so. Minimum. That's what I think.
And what's that in GCI for you? Like average?
Dude, I could eviscerate it though.
Like 500K.
Yeah, it's yeah. The kids are eating. But it might just blow past them. We'll see though. We'll see. I mean, because the way that I'm seeing things now with my ISA and how good she is, it's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. I just think that and then I'm starting a new site. I'm starting a whole new site on another island, and that island has even bigger price points. And I don't know what's going to happen. I just know
we'll help you set that up as well. That's awesome. I mean, get some other agents and
it's already getting developed by RG site right now.
Oh, perfect. There you go.
Doing the exact same thing. And then I'm going to, hey, Axel, get this thing rocking.
Oh, I love it. That's amazing, man. I can't wait.
Asking about when I met you with the with the cost and all that stuff and whatnot. Yeah. So basically, but with me, it's not normal because I'm naturally a very impulsive person. I don't really think things through too much if I think there's gonna be an upside, because I'm a very, very optimistic person, something I've been my whole life. And so uh the amount was a solid amount, especially when you were saying terms like beta, which I didn't know what that meant at the time. And
So Lex took the plunge in our beta, so our first cohort of people here. Yeah.
Okay, right. I had to act like I knew what you're talking about. I kind of knew what you're talking about. I was like, right, beta, right, right. And I wasn't Googling it, I swear. But yeah, and then just by watching your videos, and really it was a conversation we had, because I was hitting you with all the little questions because I have experience in online leads, and I was already trying to figure out where they were coming from. And you had like all the answers. And so to me, it was very clear that I just need to work with this guy and do what he says, because it's clear that he's already, kind of been through it all with it. It wasn't a hard decision for me, because I was very impressed in our first meeting. I mean, because if you can't invest in your business, what else? Come on, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've had a single person go through the program that hasn't got a return on their money yet. I think you're at the higher end for sure, like at least with opportunities in your pipeline. That's incredible. So like I said, I'm stoked that you did take the plunge, because it's just crazy to think where this will all be even in a few years. So I'm stoked, man. And hey, do you have any final thoughts for anyone that's kind of maybe on the fence, thinking about taking the plunge, anything like that?
Well, if you're in Hawaii, don't do it. But for anyone on the mainland, I mean, shoot, I've already tried to steer a couple of my friends towards Eric. I just think that the whole thing is just brilliant. You gotta be wanting to work web leads, but as like the world's kind of shifting towards that anyway. People are always looking online for how to get business or how to find homes and whatnot. And if you, I mean, Eric can explain the numbers to you, but realtor.com, those sites, they're the primary amount of their leads that they're charging you top dollar for are through Google ads. So why not circumvent them and let Eric and them show you how to do it for a lot cheaper, and where you control everything. That's what's so exciting about this to me, is that I feel like I own this program, like not Eric's program, but my own system. You know what I mean? Like I own my own system. And if I want to crank up the leads, I can. And to me, that's just like such a liberating concept.
That's awesome. And I didn't pay him to say that, everyone, but it is called our ownership program for that reason.
Yeah. And so
it is really a tap. You can turn up the tap really easily. The important point with that is, like you were talking about, the ISA, having the leverage of that person to manage the increase in inflow, and then being able to duplicate that person is a very key part to it being scalable.
Yep. Exactly right.
Well, hey, thanks so much, Lex. I look forward to, I know you're still in the program. You're going to continue on with us, which is awesome. So obviously we'll keep working together closely, but I appreciate you doing this. And I really am stoked for us and everyone watching when we get to do a round 2 of this, when you get some of those big deals inked. So thanks so much, my brother. I appreciate your time.
Yeah. Cool, man. Later.